Recording in progress. What's up, homie? How you been?
Hey, what's up, Sean? How you been, man?
Same shit, different day.
Hell yeah, I love to see it. I only have a few questions for today, but I was just like chilling the other day, and I was like, damn, man, like I haven't seen my boy Sean. It's been a couple months. I gotta get him back on Zoom and just catch up with him in general.
No, for sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, so let's just start off some basics. How has training been? You still train at the same place? Everything's still going good there?
Yeah, no. So I've been training out of McCoon's Martial Arts in the academy in Brooklyn Park with all my killers. A couple of up and coming guys that we got are myself, who's 6-1, Quang Lee, who's 5-0, John Castaneda, who's 3-1, 3-2 in the UFC right now, with his only two losses being Nathaniel Wood and then antibiotics, but that's a story for a different time. And then also got Griffin Perriott in camp too. So when you talk about 35 being surrounded by killers at 35 and 45, I don't think you can ask for better names on the up and coming right now.
Yeah, have those guys always been there? Because I feel like the first time we interviewed, you didn't have like such a stacked roster of training partners like that.
I mean, Quang has always been there. John has always been there.
Mhm.
Griffin's been more so a newer addition over probably about a year now, I want to say. But he comes with a plethora of experience, being a extremely high level wrestler. I believe at one point he was ranked number 7 in the nation at his weight class for D1. So having a guy like that in the room helps see wrestling just a wee bit.
And so I'm sure like every single day you're training and like you feel like you're getting better. But have you noticed anything like, I don't even know how to word this question. Like, have you noticed anything substantial where you're really seeing yourself evolved compared to, 4 or 5 months ago?
Just my understanding of clinch wrestling, and as well as my ability to counter wrestle from the clinch, and how that has only aided my game further. I mean, if you watch any of my fight videos as of recently, especially my last fight is a perfect example. If you get close to me, you're just a dead man walking. I mean, those knees, they decimate people, and people don't give them enough credit because they're so short and they don't look like much. But I'm telling you, if you get hit by 15 knees by me, you're not winning that fight. You're going to be your cardio is going to be gone. Your body's going to be brittle. I will break you. It's as easy as that. It's like, let me smash an egg on the counter 15 times. Guess what? The egg's going to bust. It's as simple as that.
And so now it's been a couple months. I'm sure you're all healed up, ready to go. Are we starting to get some conversations? Is there some offers coming in?
I'm everybody's worst nightmare right now. I mean, I'm public enemy number one. Nobody wants to fight me. They call guys from California. Nah, bro, sorry, we don't want that smoke. Call guys from Brazil. Nah, in Portuguese. No, 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 no. We don't want that guy, right? So I know LFA is out on the hunt. They want to see me back in the cage for them. April 21st down at Mystic Lake, right in my hometown. I'd love to put on one more hell of a show, one more lucky show, one more time for the hometown crowd. I think after that, there's absolutely no argument that you have to put me in the UFC. I Anybody I've fought as a professional, and look it up. Tapology's got all the results. 6 wins, 6 finishes. If you're in there fighting me, if we're in gladiatorial battle, you come in with a sword and a shield. I'm coming in with 2 swords, and I'm looking to hack that head clean off. I don't play defense. I play offense.
So I'm glad you mentioned that about not being able to get your opponent because that was really my next question. I talked to a lot of fighters and there seems like there's this weird phase in a fighter's career where they're one win away from getting into the UFC or Bellator, one championship, PFL, whatever it may be. But at the same time, everybody's seen enough now and they're like, listen, I'm not gonna take a big step, a big risk by taking on this guy in LFA. And then you kind of just find yourself in the spot where you can't get a fight. So, has it just been, I mean, I'm sure I know the answer is yes, but just how frustrating has it been to just be dealing with like the business of MMA and know that you have the skills to take that next step, but you just haven't really gotten lucky with getting an opponent?
It's you just do your best to stay the course. I mean, I knew after that last win, I mean, already kind of coming off of that Chris Dunn fight. anybody saw my fight with Chris Dunn, you saw at 145 pounds, I'm a hell of a gamer. At 135 pounds, I'm a death machine. You can't stop me at 135 pounds. I'm too big. I'm too strong. I'm too skilled. And then you saw that be put on display with Michael Sear, a guy who came in uh, with some quality jiu-jitsu credentials, a hell of a chin, tough guy, big time jiu-jitsu competitor. And every time, and this is just a credit to my team and how much my wrestling has come up in the past year, let's call it. Every time he took me down, he didn't even, I mean, it was easy to get up. You could tell how defeated he was in the second round. Like, I don't know what to do with this guy because I can't hold him down. I can't apply my game on him at all. I can't touch him without getting fucking hurt. Like, I don't know what to do. It's at that point in time, guys get desperate. You get desperate with me, snatch your neck, cash a check. But speaking more so into just not being able to like get fights, I tried super, super hard after the September fight to get booked in December and couldn't find anything. I mean, I've probably talked to 15, 20 promoters myself, not even counting what my agency has contacted. And, I get in the front door and they look me up and they're like, sorry, dude, you're not what we're looking for. So I think the best thing I can do is take an A-side fight. And that's what I'm trying to do here in April. Get one more victory. I think regardless whether I do get this fight to happen or not in April, I'm pretty much a dead set lock to getting a UFC shot at this point. I'm the kind of fighter, though, I want to stay active. I want to fight people. I love being entertaining. I love doing this shit. Put me on the stage. Let me shine. That's what I do best. So hopefully we can put it together in April. And if we can't, back on the hunt, stay in shape, be ready to kill whenever.
So who is your manager, by the way?
I'm managed by Iridium.
Oh, okay.
So Jason House and that whole Iridium team, the best in the business. They have the most, no explanation needed. They have the most UFC fighters. They have the highest level of competitors. I mean, you can't ask much more from those guys. If you want to get in that door, I'm working with the right guys.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking, I mean, Jason House is one of those few managers that really has that inside, with the top of the UFC. Was there any talks about, the Ultimate Fighter was just bantamweight? They're booking the Contender Series right now. Nothing? I mean, nothing.
The Ultimate Fighter is a little bit of a sore topic since it's very, very recent. That was just an opportunity missed. Just kind of flew over. I was coming off vacation and it just kind of like flew over everybody's heads and just ended up missing out on that opportunity to throw an application in. Definitely a little disappointed in that because I think I beat 100% of the roster for the Ultimate Fighter this time around. No questions asked. I think 3 of the 135ers on there have said no to fighting me. That should tell you something right there. I'm sorry, what was the other question you had? It was Ultimate Fighter.
Well, the Contender Series right now, I'm pretty sure they're booking because their season starts in like a couple months. Have you got any word about that at all?
I mean, we've been so focused on April that's kind of where the focus has been. It's just been all trying to find someone to come up, someone to show up and try to fight me at least. But I'm like I said, I'm sick. If you look at my record, I'm a 135er with 6 wins, 6 finishes. Look at the top 50 and tell me how many of those guys have 6 wins and 6 finishes. Give me somebody who's got a better win percentage rate than me or a finish percentage rate than me. There's not one out there because I'm 100%. That's why. They can only time me. They can only time me. They can't be better than me. I'm what the UFC wants. There's no doubt about that. The UFC wants guys to go into fights and they want guys to finish fights. They want guys who can talk the talk and walk the walk. Here I am, Dana, Mick, Sean. Here I am. Let's just do it, dude. I'm ready. I've been ready. I got a BJJ black belt. I crush people with my Muay Thai, and then I finish them off with the BJJ. They can't take me down. They get afraid of me. They try to run, and I chase them down. I love to hunt in there. So let me hunt. Let me show out. Let's do it.
And not to get ahead of ourselves, but are you already thinking about, when you win your UFC debut, what are you going to drop on that mic? I'm sure you're going to have something ready to go.
Dana, I just bought a house. Give me another fight. I'm trying to pay this motherfucker off so I can buy another one. Let's go. I mean, here's the thing with my career. I'm 27 right now. I turned 28 in July, so I'll probably be 28 when I get into the UFC. Realistically, that gives me at the top tier for the 135 division 4 or 5 years. I mean, I'm a realist. We all start to slow down as fighters, and at 135, you don't get much wiggle room. I mean, you have to be moving fast. There are nanosecond decisions that you better be able to make, or you're going to get knocked out. I mean, poor Eddie Weiland is a perfect example. Eddie Weiland is well past his prime. I think he got knocked out his last 3 or 4 UFC fights. Like, Eddie, we love you. And I have loved seeing you fight. You're a true, absolute G. Hang him up, bro. There's better things to do in life than get your head caved in. Like, you are a wise old man. This sport makes wise old hard men. And do something else. Everybody at the elite levels has a good amount of intelligence. You don't just get to the upper levels by being stupid. You have to be patient. You have to be hardworking. And if you have those two things, you can be successful in pretty much anything you want to do in life. So, but that being said, I mean, put me out there. Fuck. Let me fight somebody right now. I'm dying.
And so I know that you probably don't have too many details about, LFA, but are they mentioning fighting for a belt? Or I don't know if anyone has it. So I know it's usually vacant, or are they even saying, hey, we're trying to get you in a main event, a co-main event? Is there any type of details for what they want to do?
We've talked about putting me in a co-main event slot. We've talked about putting me in a main event spot. It's just a matter of getting it done at this point. I mean, whether it happens or not, I mean, obviously I'm a personality and fighting style that has to be on television. I'm just too damn entertaining. Uh, so whatever LFA chooses to do with me, I think me and LFA have an understanding that, like, I'm not planning on hanging around for too much longer. So fighting for a title isn't like super high up there on my list. If it happens, it happens. Hell yeah, dude. I'll collect that strap, add it to the fucking collection. But that being said, like, I'm trying to get in the UFC, I'm trying to cash some checks, and I'm trying to snatch some necks, and I'm trying to perform. Okay. There's nothing better than, like, right now I get to fight at Mystic, and I fight in front of like 1,000, 2,000 people, right? When you finish a fight and that crowd explodes, dude, that feeling's ecstasy right there. I don't need no drugs. That's my drug right there. So let this addict fight. Please let me put it on for everybody. I love this shit. Just let me do it.
And so I just have two more questions for you. The first one being, 6-1, 6 finishes, but on top of that, you had a good amateur career, which I think you just really never see nowadays. It's mostly people having some sort of different background, or they'll do 1 or 2 fights to get their confidence going. Now, in hindsight, that, you're starting to find a lot of success in your professional career. What do you think about, just those fights that you did take, 9 fights in amateur, and how it benefited you, helped you learn yourself more, evolve as a fighter before getting that official professional record?
So I think, it's a blessing to be able to fight as an amateur. Some of these guys who come out of these high level collegiate wrestling backgrounds or high level martial art backgrounds, whatever, a lot of times finding those amateur fights is really, really difficult. Because I'll be the first one to admit, if I was an amateur and somebody offers me a D1 wrestler for my 4th fight, I'm gonna be like, Coach, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be ready for it at that time. I remember when I fought a D2 collegiate wrestler, and I didn't even know if I was ready at that time. So it's a blessing to be able to have that amateur experience. And I've truly gotten the chance to. I mean, I started fighting when I was 18. As soon as you can do it in Minnesota, I was in, and I've been training since I was 15. So I've truly grown up in this sport, learning all the ins and outs, I've walked the shady streets, I've walked the clear highways, like I've done it all. I have a good mapped out idea of what this sport all is. And I've matured so much in it through all of those fights, and just being able to be, as an amateur, be put in bad positions. As an amateur, I had my back taken. I got rocked. I've been in mount. I've been on my back, and I've been able to being able to work through all of those situations as an amateur has only, shown that much more through in my pro career. Sharky Slider, when or Mark Sharky Slider, when he took me down, finished him off my back with a triangle. Why? Because although he had super legit ground and pound skills, I'm patient, I'm tactical, and I'm confident in a live situation where somebody's trying to put a fucking fist through my face, and being able to have that experience and know what it's like to be in danger, mitigate danger, and just work through it and find confidence that, oh, hey, like, as long as I stay patient and calm, like, this situation will be so much better. It's only like shown that much more in my pro career. Now, when you see, like, my friends make fun of me all the time. Why do you look so bored in your fight photos? Well, I'm just calm. I'm relaxed. Dude, the cage is my temple, and I'm just out there preaching. So I think having a vast amateur experience will help you so much. I think what you should do as an amateur, though, is fight, fight, fight. Find two weight classes that you think you can fight in. Fight, 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 fight. Hell, I almost fought at 55 as an amateur. They just wouldn't let me.
And so last question I have for you. I saw that you had at least your documented first amateur fight, because I know sometimes, they're not all documented. 2014. So I kind of see you as that last generation of fighters that started before MMA really got that big push, whether it was Conor McGregor, whether it was Brock Lesnar, whether it was the ESPN deal, even the pandemic. So how, from whether you're coaching, training, fighting, or, even just going to an event, how have you seen MMA involved, and what would you say is the biggest difference?
That is a great question. I think the biggest difference, the biggest evolution that I've seen over over the 12 years that I've been involved in this sport at this point is there are no more specialists. And if you are a specialist, you better have other skills. Like, you have your Khabibs, obviously, who are a specialist, but he has a plethora of other skills. He's not just a sambo wrestler. He's a very legit ground and pound striker. And Khabib's actually not got that bad of like boxing and stand up. Everything revolves around his specialty, but that's what you want to do. Alex Pierre is another perfect example. He's all about just keeping the fight on the feet, keeping the fight on the feet. So I think just the deletion of like those guys who are able to just like Damian Maia people, for instance, is a very good example. Like, you're not going to see many more Damian Maias. Like Gilbert Burns. Like, this is a perfect example. When Damian Maia got into the UFC, he just walked through his first couple of guys. He just took them down, submitted them, whatever. Gilbert Burns kept knocking motherfuckers out because he could just sling hammers and nobody wanted to touch his jiu-jitsu. And it's just like, again, it's just taking away from guys being specialists, and the evolution of you have to have a full game to be on the elite level C. Trying to think if there's any other like big things that I've seen. I think I missed the barnyard shows a little bit.
I was going to ask about that.
Not many. So like I coach fighters and I corner fighters and stuff like that, and I have some of these fighters and they're just fucking divas, dude. They're so divas. I got guys complaining about, oh, they only put me up in this hotel. Dude, this is your third amateur fight. Shut the hell up. Like, yes, you deserve to be in a motel. You ain't making this promotion any money. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, it should be lucky that their opponents aren't showing up 40 pounds overweight like it used to be.
Dude, it's like, well, like I was talking to one of the old school promoters. He's Rick Tazler, real good dude down in Iowa. Trust him with my life. He's like, I remember we used to just show up, weigh in, they'd match us the day of, and you go fight. Like, you don't even know if you and your guy are weighing the same thing. You just go and fight. They usually tried to match like similar weight, similar skill, but it's like smoker fights at that point. But you're fighting with 4-ounce MMA gloves and a nut cup and a mouth guard. So, like, that's scary. Like, I don't know anything about this guy. That's like, whoa, all right, street fight, ready, set, go. But man, I those are the good old days though, where you just like I mean, those are the OG days where you just show up and you just fight. Like, I got a buddy who just hit me up recently. His name's Anthony Yost, longtime vet of the sport, just an absolute gunslinger. Uh, he started fighting when he was 15 down in Iowa. Like, that shit don't happen anymore. He's fighting
No.
grown ass men, knocking grown ass men out too at 15 years old. So it's like that's not gonna happen anymore. I mean, obviously the scale of the sport has drastically increased, even on the amateur scene. And I mean, we're 30 years pretty much into the sport as a whole. You're gonna see these elite level of jumps and this constant continual like change. Like, the grapplers dominated forever. Now we're starting to go through this scene where the strikers are totally dominant. What's the next? What's the next niche? What's going to be the next thing? I think I have a little bit of an idea, because there's certain things that everybody in the UFC pretty much sucks at. So I'm excited to implement and build my style around what I think is going to be very useful in that situation. But you got to follow the lucky show to maybe figure what out what I'm doing. That's what I'll say.
Should we keep it a secret? Keep the jar on, and for now, we
Oh,
don't
I'm
want
at,
everyone to
hey,
know the secrets.
it's no secret. If you've ever shown up to my training room or done any rounds with me, you know exactly what to look out for after the first 30 seconds, because I will land it and it will hurt. But you got to show up and you'll figure out my game real quick. Watch some of my fights. You'll figure out my game real quick. But you got to study. If you're not studying these days, I think you're stupid. If you want to do this as a profession, you need to treat it as a profession. This is a job. This isn't a game. We're not going in and fighting each other as a game. Like, we're going in and fighting each other as a job. Like, if I don't win, there goes half my paycheck. That's an issue for me. I'm a man of numbers. I'm making sure I'm stacking as many as I can while I got the years under me. So that's why Mick, Dana, Sean, put this man in the UFC. Let me perform. God damn. I want to make you money and me money. I mean, it's a great business deal. You guys don't even have to get punched in the face. You just gotta shoot names over to me. I'll sign the contracts. It doesn't matter who it is. Throw me in there with Dillashaw. Throw me in there with Cruz. Throw me in there with Aljo, Marab, Jan. You'd be surprised who I can perform against. So this is what it is. Like, I've been saying this for a long time. I'm a top 20 bantamweight in the world. Just let me prove it.
And that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate your time. As usual, you got me fired up. I want to see another Sean McPadden fight. I know it's coming the next couple months, and I'll be watching. Thank you as always.
Deuces, guys. Check me out on Fight Pass, LFA. Going to be April 21st down at Mystic Lake. Cool. Deuces.
Peace out, Sean.